Today's August 23rd, 2017. This is the Investitude podcast. And John, I put into the board that I was going to be calling you for today's podcast, and everybody said, what are your winning lottery numbers for tonight?
And by the way, folks, the board is the highest end service that we have at Investitude, because we have education at investitude.com and we've got subscriptions. The highest subscription that we've got enables folks to basically be in a chat room all day with us.
Yes.
And so it's not just a moderator just posting what he or she thinks, not just what Andrew thinks, not just what Mike thinks or Pete or John. It's what all the folks in the, as long as they're respectful, they can post as long as they're, members of the chat room. And I think it's a great asset. It's one of my favorite parts of the site. But so when Andrew posts in there, then, the several hundred people that are in there can respond to it. Let's get to those questions now then, other than the lottery ones. Which
come on.
I guess it's the same as getting hit by lightning 5 times in a row, Andrew.
I always tell people, if you want to win the lottery, you got to be driving somewhere, like back from the eclipse, and stop in a gas station and say, oh, my change? Buy a lottery ticket, and then forget about it and stick it in your pocket. That's how you win.
Right.
Because they're the ones that always win. Like, I was buying a pack of cigarettes, and I just got the change. Anyway, so we don't have your winning lottery numbers, but we do have other things that can make you money here. What was the first question was, I guess, the thoughts on NRG. I think you did that on the show.
Yeah, although they did change the trade from when I cited it just a few minutes ago on Fast Money. When we put it up on the board in that same chat room I'm talking about on Investitude, it was December, I think it was December 30 calls. Then they canceled it, meaning they took it off the exchange, and instead they put it up as, I think, December 28th, Andrew. Mike Yamamoto sent me that he said, yeah, they pulled it off, meaning that, whoever was doing the trade didn't mean to do that strike, and instead they did the lower strike even, which I like even better. And I think they did the 28 strike. What do I think of it? Somebody buys 10,000 calls. That's a million share equivalent, folks. I like to coattail on those people. And stock NRG has been, it's in 25 to 26 range. Not a huge run for it to get into the 28, 29 range, or even 30. And so I got in on that trade as well. I bought it during the show.
Okay, and the next one is about airlines, something that I've been totally ripped at my head off on this. I bought more today. I bought more American Airlines. I don't know about the other airlines. I just know that one is my airline. So somebody wants to know about that. What do you think?
Yeah, I think a lot of the, like Barcelona, sadly, that, put a crimp on international travel. It could for people coming here, but not so good for going.
Okay.
And obviously American makes a bulk of its money from domestic, but it does a pretty significant footprint of international travel, as does Delta, as does United Continental, of the majors, I mean. So I still like them because I think we're seeing, unless we see a labor contract that really jacks up their costs, the other major input, jet fuel, hasn't run away from us. It's still, in that range, basically where it's been all year, 40 to 50 for crude oil, and then the refined versions or derivatives of it, crack spread, if you will, are still reasonable. So I still like the airlines overall, Andrew, and I'd be with you. I'd buy them on dips.
Yeah, I'm staying long mine. I can hold on. I own stock. I don't own the option. The other question,
but I'd trade out when they get to the upper end.
I should have done that, but I know I had it. Man, don't even get me started. Okay, I should have learned all this by now. The other question was about this company called JD.com. I don't know this company. Do you?
Chinese internet.
China.
China. And boy, has had a miserable week, or most of the week. It's only 3 days in, but it. I would watch it. Tencent and JD and SINA, I think SINA, SINA, are all stocks that aren't exactly Alibaba, but they can be pretty good anyway. I still like Alibaba more, so I've not traded Tencent, SINA, or JD on this move.
Okay, somebody threw in there. Lee Lesner says, "How about JPM, JP Morgan Banks?" I guess.
Yeah, I saw some March call activity today at the 90 strike, but that's an at the money. So even though it's, a longer dated purchase, it was at the money. It doesn't, a short term at the money call gets me far more excited than somebody buying long term at the money. And it wasn't, 10,000. It was only like 1,800 or 2,000. So I like JP. I don't think rates are moving up. I think the Fed's done for the year. Housing numbers today were weak again. What were they, down 9%, Andrew, or something year over year?
Yeah.
And part of it is, though, inventories are thin, so prices haven't come down as much. And if prices are remaining stubbornly high, I think if you're somebody out looking at a home, you're probably going to wait unless you have to pull the trigger because you've got young kids and you have to get into a school district or whatever. So I'm thinking the Fed is not going to be able to make another move this year.
Okay.
And if they do it only in December, it's not going to be in SEP. So rates aren't going to be going up real fast from here is my prediction. So I like the banks, but it's not my favorite sector.
Okay, and that circle around on our last question, which is VIX calls that we saw in September, and somebody asked.
Yeah, you saw him. You called Jamie, right?
Yeah, I
Jamie
did, down on the floor.
Specialist.
Yeah, and they said, "Where do you both stand on the correction?" So I'll go first. I'll go first. Do you really want you really want my opinion? I'm going to go with what Josh Brown said about it's August, and it's kind of I don't see a correction other than a feel. Yeah, that's not. Yep. You'll know when it's coming. I don't know. You won't know when it's coming. It could be anything. Sure, there could be some sort of contagion. Like remember back when Russia blew up and all these other things. You won't know it. It's not going to be something that. Anyway, my 2 cents on that.
I think the only reason we're seeing this little bit of a 70-point sell-off today or whatever, Andrew, after yesterday's big run, was a little tied to what Trump said. But we both know it's rhetoric. Goes out and says, we're going to build that wall or I'm going to shut down the government. That's red meat for the base.
I mean,
they like both sides of that.
I know it's like, but when you're walking around, like, okay, you're in New York like every week, and you walk around, you see people from New York saying, "I'm going to kill you." I mean, they don't say that to you, but they, you know what I'm saying. It's that swagger. That's that people. The media hasn't figured out that it's just Trump being Trump. It's not a policy. It's not a. You just somehow you have to sit there and listen to say, "Oh, he didn't mean that." It's like McGregor talking to what's his name. Merriweather, I'm going to kill you.
Mayweather, yeah.
But we're both going to get paid on Saturday. It's one of those things.
One's going to get $50 million, the other's going to get $300.
And I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. Oh my God! He said he was going to kill him. Murder charges.
Between you and me, Andrew, and I'd say he's at least a 9-to-1 shot. McGregor, that is, because he's not a boxer. This is not his. He's a very tough guy, and he's in the Ultimate Fighting. That's a completely different sport. It's related, but it's completely different.
So he can't sweep.
It'd be like saying
he can't sweep the leg.
Yeah, you can't sweep the leg. You can't put him in a submission hold. You can't kick him. There's a lot of things you can't do.
What if it was? What if those were the rules? Do you think McGregor's chances would be a lot better?
I say he's a favorite, but he's favored, and Mayweather would be the 9-to. Would be getting 9-to-1. But Mayweather's not stupid. No. And Mayweather's had other big paydays. In fact, he's had the 3 biggest paydays in boxing. I think you and I read. just a week ago on the podcast or so. So what I would say, Andrew, is if he gets lucky in the and makes it past the first 2 rounds, that'll be almost a miracle. Because, again, he's going against a boxer. He can't use a lot of the things he does. Could he get lucky? And if he hits him, would he knock him out? Absolutely. But I don't think that Mayweather's going to make that mistake. He's 49-0 for a reason. However, if he got hit and decided to even do an Archie Moore or whatever, if he went down like a sack of rocks, the next fight, the rematch, because there ain't going to be no rematch on this one if he, takes McGregor down fast. But if he doesn't, or McGregor hits him and gets lucky, that rematch, McGregor's going to get a big payday, but so is Mayweather.
Reminds me of Rocky too.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah, it reminds me of Rocky too. You're setting it up. Sounds like a movie. All right, and now on the site, we post stuff on Investitute.
Mm-hmm.
Which one are you doing on the site of all the picks that we put out today? And there's a few up there.
I was in Baba. I am in Siena. I'm trying to think. I did that NRG.
You did NRG
today. Yep. Except I moved it over to the. I think it was the 28 calls that actually it was supposed to be. Like I say, they canceled it and then put it back up on the tape that way. So it was at first it hit as the 30s, and then they changed it to the 28s. So either way, I liked it. And I'll take a shot with all of those. And although be careful with the Baba, because that's next week expiration. And obviously next Friday, it will be a ghost town, folks, because not only is it the end of August, but it's leading into Labor Day. So, just be aware that next Friday, September 1st, we are going off because September 4th, Monday, is Labor Day. So, just be smart.
Trade accordingly, as we always say.
Yep.
Know what's ahead of you.
Probably got to get out of them by Wednesday or Thursday.
All right.
All right. Well, remember, folks, you can get the podcast through Google Play, through YouTube, through iTunes, and please leave some comments and or give us a thumbs up on the rating. We appreciate you listening.